Ali Akbarian, your resident road safety expert from Mobility Engineering, back again for another Q&A. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. We love those questions. Keep them coming in. And as I always say, please hit my trusty subscribe button down there that goes with my trusty subscribe pillow. Somewhere down there, we'd love your support to get to 1,000 subscribers. And on top of that, when we get more videos coming out, you'll get notified, so you don't have to keep checking in. All that kind of stuff makes it a little bit easier. So hit that button and let's get you on board for more wonderful safety-related content. So the question is effectively wanting to clarify a few points. Can we use this item alone? So that means without any seatbelts or anything like that, we just put it on and we hook it over the child. Absolutely not. We cannot use this alone. This harness is not a harness on its own. It is designed as an accessory to the seatbelt in the car. Right? So that's basically an absolute must. You can never use this on its own. It must always be used with a seatbelt. Then that brings the next point on. What sort of seatbelt do we use it with? Can we use it with one of these over-the-shoulder seatbelts? So you see over here, you've got a seatbelt that goes over the shoulder like that. Or do we use it with a belt that's like one of those lap-only, the old-fashioned lap-only kind of belt? Now, to build on that point, what we want to... And then the next question is, do we use them with boosters and so on? And this has come from an occupational therapist, by the way. So it's related for the mobility or disability industry. So before I go on that point, what I want to make very, very clear is this is a child restraint device, and it is a device that is an accessory to the seatbelt. What this is not a postural harness, nor is it a behavioral harness. If you are using this as a postural harness, I will guarantee you that the child that is in this is in danger, because the way that this is supposed to be used, if it is used to support your posture, all the locations of the strap are wrong. So if you are using this as a postural harness, you are incorrectly using it and you need to stop immediately, because most likely, I'm very, very certain that your child is being used incorrectly and your child could potentially be in danger. So do not ever use these as a postural harness. And the reason why I say that is because the community that watches this is typically a lot of occupational therapists in the disability community. If it is being used as a harness or a restraint in a vehicle for a child that's basically used instead of a booster or because the seatbelt is not working, then yeah, that's basically where we would use it. The next point is, do we use the over-the-shoulder belt or the lap belt? Now, as I showed you quickly before, I'll just put my paper there, a lap belt is effectively one of the old-fashioned belts that went across your lap sort of like that, right? Now, a little bit of history on this device. This particular device was designed in the 70s and 80s when the back seats of cars had those lap belts. So you might have seen your parents talk about that, and basically, or even your grandparents talk about how in the old days they didn't even have seat belts, or they had those little lap belts in the back of the cars. And with those belts, you have a lot of upper body movement in the event of an accident. So they brought this particular product into the market for those belts to help the upper body not come down and hit your head into your knees or any kind of unnecessary injuries like that. So if you understand it from that context, then it makes it a lot easier to understand what this thing is designed for. It's designed for that, and it's designed only to be used with lap-only belts. Now, often people say, well, then what I can do is I can grab a gated buckle like this, and I can grab my belt, and then I can turn it to a lap belt. Now, you could do that by clipping that on there and basically locking that into position. I'll just quickly do that on the video just so you can see what we're talking about. So we're just putting that on there like so. Putting the other one in through like that. The other one in like that. So we're just putting that belt in like so. And we can just pretend that this is one of those old-fashioned lap belts. And yes, you could feed this through this harness like so, as was indicated in the question. And we can do that. Now, effectively what you're doing in this situation is you're taking this harness and you're taking this seatbelt that's modern technology with a lap/slash locking system, and you're disabling all of that, and you're kind of converting this into an old-fashioned lap belt, so then you can upgrade it with an old-fashioned harness. Now, if you think about it in that manner, it doesn't really seem to make sense. And from a safety and a research point of view, all of the signs point to the fact that this over-the-shoulder belt is a much better and a much safer option than this harness with the gated buckle or with a lap belt. Now, there is, as I've spoken in some videos in the past, there is very specialized cases and where this would be more suitable, but that requires family consultation, that requires child consultation, carer consultation to determine, is this the right solution? There is always a solution for everybody. Everybody's individual. But when we're talking the general masses, this is not the best solution. The best solution is basically to not use this type of belt, put that away, and effectively just use this standard over-the-shoulder seatbelt. As I said, if we're using it for the disability industry, it's probably not the right harness. But the ideal situation is to bring it around like so, and basically just use your seatbelt like that. Then the next question comes up, can we use these harnesses with the booster seat? So the booster seat, yes, of course you could. Same sort of thing if you had a lap-only belt, right? If I had a lap-only belt down there and I had nothing at the top here, well, this is going to try and flip me, right? So yeah, if I wanted to, I could put one of those over the top if I had a lap-only belt. However, I'll give you a little bit of a clue. Look at this thing here. This has got a little ring there that's used to guide the over-the-shoulder seatbelt. And you will find that every single booster seat on the market has some kind of over-the-shoulder guide. So what does that mean? That means that this booster seat is designed, tested, and intended for you to use it with the over-the-shoulder belt. So if you have an over-the-shoulder lap sash belt available, that is your best option, and that is what you're supposed to use this for. That is what it's been designed for. That's in the instructions, they talk about using it for that. If you don't have an over-the-shoulder seat belt, then yes, you need one of these harnesses on top of your lap belt. So that's the case. In this situation here, we've got this little guide there, and then we would use this little guide over here, like so. And as I said, the clue is in the restraint on its own. It's got guides designed for over-the-shoulder seatbelts. It's got instructions made for over-the-shoulder seatbelts. It's not made for harnesses. It can be used with harnesses, and they can be, some of them are harness-friendly in the way they're designed, but that's only because still on Australian roads we have cars that have lap-only belts, and so a lap-only belt and a booster is not a safe combination, and you still need to put that harness on the top. And you just need to make sure you fit it 100% correctly, and you know what you're doing in that respect. And if you're unsure, you can consult one of our partners or one of the fitters, which we'll put links down below on that. So hopefully that answers the questions about this Child Safetu H Harness. I want to make it very clear that these child harnesses are not dangerous. They are safe products that meet Australian standards. They've got labels on them. This one is up here. That meets the Australian standard there. So it's not that it's not a safe product. It is a product intended for a specific use, which is for lap belts. So if you've got a lap belt, then that's what you would use it for. But otherwise, there's no other real use for them. So hopefully that clarifies your question. And thank you very much for tuning in. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button that's down there. And please send in more questions, and we'll see you next time.